From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, March the 1st, 2022. As Russia continues its deadly assault on Ukraine with hundreds of civilians killed, Israel had its first fatality in the conflict. The Times of Israel reports that Israeli citizen Roman Brodsky, who was living in Ukraine with his family, was shot dead at a checkpoint while trying to leave Kiev, apparently by Ukrainian troops, who mistakenly thought that he was a Chechen militant. Brodsky was heading with a convoy of vehicles to the border with Moldova, hoping to then fly from there back to Israel. His parents, who live in Israel, told local News 12 they do not blame the Ukrainians, that the blame is on Vladimir Putin. Prime Minister Naftali Bennett released a statement last night saying, "I was saddened to receive the bitter news about the death of Roman Brodsky, an Israeli citizen in Ukraine. On behalf of all citizens of Israel, I want to send my condolences to his wife, children, and family in Israel and in Ukraine. We are continuing," Bennett said, "to do everything to help Israelis return home." Israel's President Isaac Herzog expressed his grief to the family, saying this is a terrible tragedy, the personal tragedy of Roman and his family, and the tragedy of the Jewish community and the Ukrainian people. We are profoundly concerned for them. Together with the whole family of nations, I hope this war ends quickly. And in Kiev today, a Russian airstrike was said to have hit a television tower, killing a reported 5 people. And it also is said to have damaged the Babi Yar memorial site, where 34,000 Jews were murdered during the Holocaust. The site's Memorial Center Advisory Board Chair, Natan Sharansky, said, "We at the Babi Yar Holocaust Memorial Center, built on Europe's largest mass grave of the Holocaust, work to preserve historical memory following decades of Soviet suppression of historical truth, so that the evils of the past can never be repeated. We must not allow the truth to once again become the victim of war." Turning now to some other news, the American Jewish Committee announced last night that it has appointed Congressman Ted Deutsch as its next CEO, replacing longtime leader David Harris. Deutsch, known for his Jewish and pro-Israel activism, has served 7 terms as the Democratic representative of Florida's 22nd District and is a senior member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, on which he serves as chairman of the Middle East, North Africa, and Global Counterterrorism Subcommittee. Deutsch, who was unanimously selected by the AJC's Executive Council, said he was deeply honored to have been chosen. Deutsch said, "I am wholeheartedly committed to furthering AJC's nonpartisan, centrist approach and will be steadfast in my efforts to advance the organization's mission." Harris, who will stay on until Deutsch takes over in the fall, and then as a consultant for 1 year, tweeted, "I've always believed service in the Jewish world is a relay race. I first accepted the baton in 1975, working with Soviet Jewish refugees in Europe. In 1979, I joined AJC, becoming CEO in 1990. I'm thrilled to be passing the baton to my friend, Representative Ted Deutsch, in October." Israeli financial publication Calculist reported that professional network giant LinkedIn is buying the Israeli marketing analytics platform Oribi for $80 million. LinkedIn, which is owned by Microsoft, will open a new research and development center in Tel Aviv. Chief Product Officer for LinkedIn, Tomer Cohen, who led the acquisition, said that it will allow us to provide our clients added value and maximize their return on investment. He said, "I'm very excited to be opening an R&D center in Israel, and I estimate that it will become a significant part of the company." Oribi was founded in 2015 by Iris Schur, who shared the news on her Facebook page, writing, "I am very proud that we were chosen to be the basis for the establishment of the first LinkedIn center in Israel." Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Tuesday, March the 1st at 7 o'clock, Rabbi Ammiel Hirsch looks at the realities of war on the backdrop of the Ukraine crisis. At 7:30, Derrick Johnson sits with Rabbi Mark Schneier and Valerie Nash to discuss the state of Black-Jewish relations today. At 8, former Israeli ambassador to the UN, Danon, reflects on the history of Israel as seen through the ups and downs at the United Nations and offers predictions for the future. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with Richard Haas on L'chaim. At 10, a replay of In the Spotlight from our JBS studios in Times Square. Shahahr Azani speaking with Brigadier General Amir Avivi about Israeli security and his work with Israel's Defense and Security Forum. And coming up next, it's the ILTV's Insider. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, March the 1st, 2022. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well.